Hey guys, I wanted to go ahead and do another short video specifically talking about the diagnostic activity. Hopefully this is going to answer some questions. So when you get onto the assignment section, you should have seen what was referred to as the writing assignment guide. And if you opened it up, this is what it looked like. So the very first assignment you did, which was the substance use summary, you would notice that the parts that I highlighted right here show up in red when you open that document. Those were the only sections that you needed to complete for that. I'm going to go ahead and fold this now so that we're only going to be looking at the diagnostic activity. So the diagnostic activity looks like this. And the parts that I highlighted in purple are the only sections you're going to do. So you're going to do the exact same sections as you did for the Allen video. And the only thing that's going to be different for this is you're going to actually do the diagnostic impression section. If you want to know what the diagnostic impression section looks like specifically, please open up the comprehensive clinical assessment example for Barbara, and that's going to show you, you can just jump right down to diagnostic impressions. And like I said in the video from last night, you're going to write out all of the criteria that you're seeing. So it was asked about watching the flight video and not necessarily knowing the frequency, the first use, the last use. I get that. I'm not going to grade you on information that you don't have access to. So you don't need to tell me when the character first used alcohol, marijuana, anything like that. I know it's not there. What I want you to do is there are examples, and you do know his last use. So you can write it in there. Last use isn't always a date on a calendar. So we can say things like, and this is not accurate, I'm just throwing it out there as an example. Let's say we knew he last used LSD the day his dad passed away. And we would write, you know, his last use of LSD was the day he buried his father. Whatever. We can use specific examples and, you know, events like that to demonstrate last use. It's definitely best when we're sitting there with a person in front of us to try to get a date. If we can't get a date, get a month. If we can't get a month, try to get a year. I often will use with people when I'm trying to get them to come up with a time frame is, can you remember, was it during middle school, high school? Was it during your college years? So I'll use broad general terms sometimes if somebody doesn't have good, accurate memory, and that's okay. So the next thing I want you to think about when you're writing your diagnostic activity is, because your diagnosis comes from the criteria, I have added in right below the diagnostic activity folder the criteria. And as a matter of fact, I believe that I opened, yes. So if you open up the diagnostic activity, you will see a couple of things. One being kind of the diagnostic activity description, what we're looking for you to do. Make sure that you take a look at that. And the other thing is the diagnostic criteria was already in there. And so I've just added another copy of it outside of the folder. So again, for example, let's say, and again, this is not accurate. Let's say that we saw the character in the flight movie state, I really need to go score some heroin right now. That's craving. Basically what he would be saying to the other person that he was, having the conversation with is, I'm really craving heroin right now. So we want to watch. And the form that I provided today doesn't take the criteria in the same steps as what the DSM does, and that doesn't matter. But the first one on here is hazardous use. So again, I'm going to look and observe for hazardous behaviors in the movie and substances that he was using during that time. So those are the things that you want to be taking notes on. Those are the things that you're then going to talk about within your substance use and treatment history section. I hope this is, helpful. I hope it gives you guys a little bit more understanding what we're looking for. And again, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thanks.